Okay, Miss Lisa.
Hello. So a number of my questions have already been sort of touched on, but just to follow up on one of them, if I understand correctly, it's mankind's destiny to sort of advance the universe as the most complex and extraordinary, I think is your word, product of the universe. But it seems that through our quest for potential, we seem to be destroying our environment.
Right.
And I wondered if you think that somehow the order of the universe is sort of off balance in some way, or why this is happening.
Fair. Okay, it's a very fair question. I deal with it. So remember, because I'm bad, I have weapons in reserve for you guys. I'm bad. So remember, I said initially a hypothesis because I have to deal with your question. It's the basic question: why is there evil? That's an answer. That's a corollary of that question. Why is there evil at all? At all? Okay. So remember, I can only hypothesize in good faith that the origin point was zero. Yes, I take it from there that zero. How do I take it from there? I didn't articulate here. Zero split into pluses and minuses, and good and evil, male and female. That the only way it could split was to split into pluses and minuses, good and evil. That's the only way out of the void. It's part of the hypothesis. The only way out of the void was there to be also negativity. And therefore, moving this to the last paragraph, the last chapter of my first book, that God forbid, if a youngster is killed in a car accident or by a malicious gang, the possibility of evil helped ignite creation, according to this hypothesis. With no possibility for evil as well as good, there'd be no possibility of creation. That we all took that wager. We all placed our bets on that type of universe. You and I included, somehow retroactively. We were all given a choice somehow, according to the hypothesis. You want a universe? There's going to be evil. There's going to be death and destruction. You don't want death and destruction? No universe. And that somehow, it's a hypothesis. I know it's like grand hypothesis. We somehow cumulatively decided to take that gamble, or to take that wager. We can accept evil, the possibility of evil, and in order for there to ignite a universe, that life trumps the possibility of death. That's the hypothesis. And that's the only way it works, the hypothesis. The hypothesis may be right or wrong, but that's the hypothesis, that we chose that path. It's on a grand level, we rejected the doorman hypothesis, the doorman option, not just monetarily. We rejected it in toto. We want life. To get life, we had to accept the possibility, pain, death, torture, sadism, you name it. That's the hypothesis. It was a cosmic wager. Okay, we keep going? Okay.
Okay. I wasn't so much talking about evil, but
right.
Just basically progress kind of leading to destruction.
I know, I'm just taking it to the extreme.
Right.
I'm taking your question to a more extreme question.
Right.
Yes, your question is obvious, yes. I mean, obviously it's a fair question. I'm taking more extreme. Why is there Holocaust? Why is there genocide? I'm taking your question to the extreme. Mr. David Birnbaum, why is there genocide? Am I taking your question to the extreme?
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, maybe we're not the most extraordinary product of the universe. Maybe a whale is, and maybe...
Well, it's a different question.
They should be advancing...
No, but the thing is, are we finished? Is the universe finished? How will it look a million years from now? So I would not bet against there being a more evolved life form 1,000 million years from now. Yes, I'm sure the whale might think it is the most advanced. Maybe it is. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't cause war and destruction.
Right. And we may not fully understand what it's saying.
We don't understand, right. And maybe the little porpoise we killed or we harvest is much more extraordinary than we are. It's all possible.
Right.
But it seems that we're the most complex. That is pretty much agreement. they were the most complex entity to bestride and wreak havoc on the planet, And typically the more complex, the more possibility for the extraordinary, also more possibility for destruction. They're sort of both true simultaneously. So I think that the universe as a principle stresses what I call E+, extraordinariation. I think religion head towards that by saying the world to come. I think that's really where they're headed. But in this hypothesis, that zero is heading towards E+, and itself does not quite sure what E+ is. We try dinosaurs. We try whales. We try humans. The universe is not sure. Zero is not quite sure exactly where E+ is, or would it go in there in the first, try to go that quicker route. If it could. Nor do I. And we don't know what weight to give different things. To give morality 99% weight, to give beauty a lot of weight, give mercy a lot of weight. I mean, in the realm of extraordinary. We ourselves don't know how much weight to give it. Do we give rich emotion? Do we give how much of the void, the universe, which keeps on expanding, by the way, as we speak, how much of the void it gobbles up? It's probably some combination, and that combination might be shifted. The universe itself might be, universe meaning we, as part of the universe also, might be tweaking. What combination of these different components leads us best towards E+? Is E+ ever reached? No. Remember that. It's always a goal. It's an individual level also. We seek to optimize. I like the word optimize. We need to optimize our lives. We need to optimize our relationship. We like to optimize our finances. We like to optimize our fulfillment. We like to optimize our sort of beauty. We like to optimize our circle. On some level, we want to optimize our status. Maybe yes, maybe no, but many people are trying to optimize this whole package. It doesn't mean it's extraordinary, trying to optimize. But the universe as a whole is going for E+. It's trying to keep optimizing. Maybe it reaches E+. Maybe it's close and closest to E+. There was a Catholic philosopher, Teilhard de Chardin, and he had a thing called the omega point. Omega point is not E+ at all. It's more Christian doctrine, but it's a parallel concept. The Chardin has his devotees. I love the Chardin. I mean, I'm coming from a different construct, different religion. But I love him because he was so pure in his thought. He was banned from Jesuit practice for many decades. His works were only allowed to be published by the church after his death, actually. And his burial spot is not far from Bard College. When I had a little conference at Bard College on my books, they took us on a day trip to the Chardin's gravestone. Whoa. It was like a wow for all of us. They're astute enough, Bard College, to value his gravestone. There I am touching the Chardin's gravestone. It was like too much to handle for me. I didn't expect it. I didn't realize it was on the agenda, the day trip. But it's a somewhat parallel concept. It's within Christian doctrine, like pure Christianity, whatever it is. There's a mega point. So it's obviously anomalous to me. But I appreciate its beauty. That the world, according to the Chardin, the world is heading towards that point, like fulfillment of pure Christian doctrine. I appreciate its beauty. Right? Of course, I appreciate parts because it's parallel to my little doctrine. Okay. My doctrine is universal. I'm clear, right? My doctrine is universal, can be applied to almost any ideology except like a genocidal ideology. Can be applied to any ideology, Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, you name it. Even agnostic, even soft atheistic, meaning soft atheistic says there's no God, but there might be direction to the universe. There's hardline atheism which says there's no direction to the universe. They've decided I'm their enemy. I am their enemy. I'm their fatal enemy, lethal fatal enemy. They fail, they fall with my philosophy. Because I say you can have a universe without classic God, but you can't have a universe without direction in particular, quest potential. Now, see, the basic question in philosophy, yes or no, does the universe have direction? Yes or no, is there teleology to the universe? Meaning, is there direction to the universe? Yes or no? So Mr. Aristotle said yes, but he couldn't get too specific. The Church of England persecuted the academics of England for hundreds of years, maybe 1,000+ years. When the academics got the upper hand in England, they banned any thought of any direction whatsoever to the universe. But they threw out the baby with the bathwater. The church was brought to heel, the Church of England. But to make absolutely positively sure there's no possibility of getting anywhere near God, in their scheme of things, there's no direction whatsoever to the universe. Random universe. Nonsense. Total, complete nonsense. According to the doctrine of the atheist/randomness group in England, which is tiny but powerful because it controls many of the journals. A lot of the great journals were English journals, founded at a time that the church was overthrown, its power overthrown, controlled by hardline atheists. There's no direction to the universe whatsoever. If you breathe any direction to the universe, we will block your tenure anywhere in the world if we can. To that extent, to this day, to the extent they can. Wait. So, to them, there's no teleology, no direction to the universe. Now, remember, there's an old quack science called alchemy that you can go from lead to gold. But random universe is much worse than that. According to them, you can go from zero to the universe as we know it today, randomly. It makes alchemy look like hard science, basically. So I'm going to take this a little further. It's important to know. So they say, Mr. Scientist, and frankly, Oxford and Cambridge is peppered with these boys. I'm sure they did well in school. I'm sure they got 801 out of 800 on the SATs. They got their professorship at Oxford, and they bonded as a group, as a club. They pat each other on the back. They give each other Nobel Prizes, literally. Okay? Everything is random. And how do we get this universe? How do we get this expletive universe? Well, what's the answer? Their answer is, well, there must be infinite universes. And in this particular one of infinite universes, everything just happened to work out. Males and females evolved in tandem randomly over billions of years. So for billions of years, males and females are able to get together. Yada, yada, yada. Everything just falls into place. But how do you get, according to them, they're infinite universe. Well, how do you get even one universe, Mr. Atheist? Let alone infinite universe. According to my hypothesis, my little hypothesis, you can't even have one universe without quest for potential. Without that dynamic, you can't have one, let alone infinite. And you're getting that one through a directional concept. Q4P, right? Q4P for short. So don't tell me about your infinite universes. You can't even get to one universe.